They had never met. She was barely awake. There was no worship, no singing, and no hype to get her ready. She simply sat in the chair, probably expecting nothing, and certainly feeling desperate. Rodney and his wife, Adonica, began praying for Louise. Louise recalls the tears that rolled down Adonica's cheeks. They prayed for about 5 minutes. Louise was instantly healed. As I write these lines, that was nearly 10 years ago. But there was more. The cough had contributed to a severe depression, which Louise had suffered with for much of the same time. Rodney invited her to come to his camp meeting he was holding in Lakeland, Florida that following month. He even paid her way and provided the hotel. She phoned me after being there 2 days. "It is the nearest you get to heaven without dying," she said, adding, "It is the greatest experience of my life." A comment I vowed not to take too personally. When she returned to London, the depression had lifted. There is more I could say about Rodney. I believe God has used him to have a major role in what I believe is the embryonic phase of the greatest move of the Holy Spirit since the days of the early church. I call it Isaac, the promised son given to Abraham when he thought Ishmael was surely good enough. I say more about this elsewhere, but let me say now that God has used this man in the lives of our family. Our son T.R. was also transformed by Rodney's ministry. And I believe you will be blessed just by listening to this book. Rodney presents the same Jesus as you find in the Gospels. Let no one think there is another Jesus. Rodney is orthodox regarding his understanding of the person of Jesus Christ, as he is in all the essentials of the Christian faith. Rodney extols Jesus' name, his blood, his compassion, his healing power, among other things. This book will make you laugh and will make you cry. Perhaps not the same as getting to hear him in person, but almost. Listen to this book and be changed. If you are traditional and conservative, be prepared to be a little shocked. But then I say to you, get over it. You will not only survive, but will be blessed to exceed your expectations. God bless you as you proceed. Dr. R.T. Kendall, Minister of Westminster Chapel, London, 1977 to 2002, Key Largo, Florida, January 2004. Introduction. What was Jesus really like? Have you ever wondered, what was Jesus really like? As a child growing up in the church, I listened to preachers preach about Jesus Sunday after Sunday. The desire in my young heart was to find out more about him. I remember praying often that he would walk off the pages of the Bible and walk into my heart. I felt I've got to see him. I want to know him. I discovered that the only way I could see and know Jesus was to read the Gospels. Then later, as I read the Gospels over and over, I started seeing a different picture of him than I'd heard coming from the pulpit. I heard people say that Jesus wouldn't do this and Jesus wouldn't do that. But when I read the Gospels and found out what he did do, I saw that he was radical. He didn't fit in with the religious. As a matter of fact, Jesus would be kicked out of most churches today. They wouldn't invite him to speak at most conferences, and he would not be welcomed in certain ministerial fellowships and denominations. Why? Because apart from his being totally unorthodox, they wouldn't be able to predict what he might do next. There have been many theories over the years concerning Jesus, from those that were sound scripturally to those that were just plain blasphemous. But the Gospels tell it like it is. As I studied the Gospels, I began to realize that through centuries of religion and tradition, the church has relegated Jesus to a stained glass window. They put him in a religious picture found in children's Bible storybooks. This religious, traditional treatment of Jesus has caused the world to have a warped, one-dimensional view of him. Blinded by religious tradition, they don't